Academy Sports and Outdoors presents Royals Baseball. Tonight from Kauffman Stadium, it's Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Chicago White Sox and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler with you. Last night, the Royals won Game 1 by beating an old nemesis, John Danks. Beat him 3-2, another close victory.
Like the adjustments. They had some walks. They were actually selective. And that was a real good because this guy Danks, he owned him until last night. Good to get that first game.
Now they face a guy in Jeff Samardzija, a guy they have had considerable success with.
Yes, and Samardzija, you like facing them because this guy is a real macho man. Ex-football player at Notre Dame, loves to challenge hitters. And when he does it, he's a sinker baller, and you overthrow, look at those balls in the middle, you make mistakes. The Royals don't change a thing against this tough competitor.
They beat him on opening day by a final score of 10-1. But look what the Sox have done recently. Their pitching staff ERA 7.23. Their starters at 9.15, and Casey hoping to jump on that tonight.
They're going to have to find a way, but not likely here against one of the best offenses in baseball. They better be hitting their spots or they're in trouble.
And Chicago will face a pitcher who has had success against them in the past, Jeremy Guthrie. When we come back, Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery will talk of Jeremy Guthrie's success against the Sox and in the month of August.
No surprise, a sold-out crowd at Kauffman Stadium to see a team that has won 12 of their last 15 at the K. And we welcome you back out to left field. Joel Goldberg alongside of Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. And for Jeremy Guthrie, his last start came July 29th. It's been a while. How might that affect him?
Well, it could be good, could be bad, Joel. I think the biggest thing is Guthrie takes great care of himself. He's going to be fine physically, but the real key is staying sharp. Now, he did throw a couple times in the bullpen, getting ready for some games, maybe for extra inning action. Didn't go in, but staying sharp's the biggest test.
and he's going up against the team that he has done very well against, especially as a Royal. Our Honda most trusted player is Jeremy Guthrie, and in his career with the Royals, he's 7-3 against Chicago. The Royals are 12-3 in those starts. He's also been excellent in August. Might that go back to keeping in good shape?
Well, I think it does, and I think we've seen Guthrie really get stronger as this year has materialized, and the fact that he has been named that 5th guy ahead of Chris Young tells me that maybe his August numbers might have a little bit to do with that.
And we will have, as we mentioned, a big crowd. Now, maybe in the past, we needed one of those university nights to bump up the crowd. Crowd's going to be great no matter what, but tonight there will be a lot of red in it. It is Nebraska night. We know those Husker fans travel well. We also know that Alex Gordon took live batting practice today, and he looked really good. We'll talk about that. And, of course, first pitch coming up next.
Brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealers. Visit your local Kansas City area Chevy dealers for great prices on all our new 2015 vehicles today. Well, welcome back to Kauffman Stadium, where it is Nebraska night. While blue is the dominant color in Kauffman Stadium, there's a trace of red tonight as it's Cornhusker night at the K, and former Cornhusker Alex Gordon will join us to talk Huskers, Royals, and good health. This was the All-American Alex Gordon when he played for the Big Red back in the day and then became the Royals' first-round pick and moved from third base to left field to become a 4-time Gold Glove winner. And he took BP today, coming back from that groin injury, and boy, did he look strong.
You know, if I had a chance to come back, Fizz, I'd want to come back as a player and be like Gordon or Erstad. Either one of those Cornhuskers would suit my career fine.
The Royals will host the Chicago White Sox, who are 51 and 56, 12.5 games back of Kansas City. And Adam Eaton, who went out in the 4th inning making a terrific catch of a Ben Zobrist drive, came out of the game. Rexy's back in there starting and leading off.
Well, you know, that shoulder, it irritated him a few games ago, and he made a catch, and it really jarred that same shoulder, so he thought he was in more trouble. Found out once he got in the clubhouse and everything that, wow, he had full range of motion, and he's ready to be back in there.
How about Jeremy Guthrie looking for win number 8?
Yeah, it's important for Guthrie, as always in his starts, that he keeps that ball down. He's given up some home runs, 13 to left-handed bats and 4 to right-handed bats. Keep it down. He's got good stuff. He hasn't pitched in 10 days, so he's going to be a little strong. But the important thing for a pitcher when you've been out that long is to be able to slow things down. Don't let your body speed up. If your body speeds up, sometimes your arm can't catch up and you leave the ball up in the strike zone.
So your key, keep it down because you've got the best defense behind you.
Why not? And even if you do make some mistakes up, hopefully they aim towards center field. But Salvador Perez, he's been really good this year, but he's looking to nail a White Sox on the bases. Dyson in left field.
Plenty of speed there, and that's your Royals defense brought to you by Ford. Well, here is Adam Eaton, and he has been on fire of late, batting .369 with 16 runs scored his last 14 games to get his overall average up to .268. He went 0 for 2 last night before the injury. Guthrie's first pitch of the game. It's outside corner, strike one. Now, Rex, there are shadows on the field, obviously over the mound and into center field, but there's a bright background where the sun is on the hitter's eye in center field. What's that going to be like?
Well, they're not used to it being like that, so it'll be a little bit different. Usually the ball is dark in a bright hitter's backdrop. So the ball seems to be a little bit darker than normal, but look, they're happy to get this an hour earlier start, gives them a little bit more time in beautiful downtown Kansas City.
Indeed. To center field, Kane will make the play for out number one. Laz Diaz is behind home plate. Alfonso Marquez is the crew chief. Dan Bellino at second base and Chris Siegel at third. I know you went down and visited with Alfonso before the game.
Oh, good friend, you know, and a lot of fun. This guy's the first Mexican-born major league umpire. He's got a lot of pride and he's got a lot of chewing gum in his cheek. But Laz Diaz, the home plate umpire, he's got a good strike zone for pitchers. He's going to call the corners. He's got a big zone.
Saladino goes after the first pitch fastball and fouls it back, strike one.
So Guthrie's going to offer the fastball. He'll cut his fastball, change up, and a curve. Fastball average is 91.
Moustakas. 2 outs.
There might be some fans that are just tuning in for the first time watching a Royals game, and they are not booing their third baseman. Moustakas is a household name now here in Kansas City and throughout America. In every ballpark we go to, it's Moose because of those skills. He made one of the best plays of the season last night, and here he comes right away in the first inning, showing his skills.
And that great play he made last night ended the inning and thwarted a Chicago threat. And here is a guy it's always good to see up with nobody aboard. Jose Abreu. He is their main man in the middle. 19 home runs, 65 RBIs, and last year he had a sensational season with 36 home runs and 107 driven in a rookie season.
Three for 12 in his career against Guthrie. Good inside out swing. Ball bounces on the dirt. You see Salvi gave it to the umpire to throw it out because it gets a little scuffed. And when a pitcher gets a scuffed ball, sometimes he can make it do some magic. It dances. He knows how to throw it, so they get it out of there. In fairness to the hitter.
Ground ball second. Infante has it. Nice tidy 1-2-3 first inning for Jeremy Guthrie.
I don't remember the last first inning he threw only 9. Great inning.
Goldberg and Ned took the ice bucket challenge by ALS, and we will be talking with George Brett, who is one of the ambassadors to help rid us of that horrible disease. And here's a look at Ned Yost's batting order. Alcides Escobar to lead things off, then Mike Moustakas. It was great to see Lorenzo Cain get 2 extra base hits. Both were key, double, triple in last night's win.
Yeah, and you know, before the game, we kind of had a feeling that Lorenzo Cain could come out, and he did. He gets here at home at the K, and believe me, where these players love playing at the home, in their home ballpark here. The Royals at home are 35-18 here at the K.
Jeff Samardzija 8-6 this year, a 4.35 earned run average. His last game did not pitch well against the New York Yankees. And there's a fine play by Saladino, who has been marvelous defensively for Chicago since his call up in early July. How about the White Sox defense?
Well, we're highlighting Giovanni Soto, who's getting the start tonight. He's got an excellent throwing stroke for any would-be base stealers the Royals will have, and with Dyson in that lineup, if you can get on base, he'll be challenged for sure.
Meantime, Mike Moustakas moves back up to the 2 spot in the lineup. The Royals just giving Ben Zobrist a day off. You might remember Ben Zobrist was out more than a month because of a left knee injury he suffered with the Oakland Athletics, and he's played pretty much non-stop ever since coming off the DL with Oakland and now with Kansas City.
Samardzija's pitches or a fastball that'll go anywhere from 90 to 97, but his average fastball is about 94. Cuts it at 92. Pretty hard pitch in on lefties. Slider and a split finger. And there's the splitty.
And it was a good one, and Moose swinging over the top. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He might just see it again after that swing. Pitchers, you know, they have a game plan coming in, but then sometimes it changes in the at-bat.
Samardzija, much like he did the first time against the Royals, pitching KC inside. Well, he worked middle away with Moustakas on opening day, I remember, and Mike stayed with the pitch and hit a home run to left. First opposite field home run he has ever hit. And he pops that one up on the right side. The first baseman wants it, Adam LaRoche, and takes it, and 2 out. Our Toyota League leaders show you what a workhorse that Samardzija has been this year. He's 5th in the American League in innings pitched behind Keuchel, Kluber, Gray, and Price. His last start, he only went 4 2/3 and gave up 8 hits, and he equaled a career high in runs allowed with 9. I was talking with Darren Jackson, the Chicago White Sox broadcaster, and asked him what happened with Samardzija against the Yankees, and he said, well, every single mistake that Jeff made, they squared up and absolutely blasted. That ball hit to left field, and Melky Cabrera will make the catch, and both starting pitchers with 1, 2, 3 firsts. Stadium, we see ice bucket celebrations every single time the Royals win at Kauffman Stadium. But there was a special one earlier yesterday, an ice bucket challenge with Joel and Ned.
Moving. I'm going to stay right here.
I'm with you.
My facial.
And Salvi dropped that ice bucket with Steve Physiak along with Rex Hudler. We're joined by George Brett, who's one of the leaders with Kansas City with the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. And this is a tremendous opportunity to raise money. And I understand last year $220 million were raised worldwide in this great cause.
All I heard was over $100 million. And when you said $220 million,
that's what I read off of the
I've been
ALS.
involved with ALS here in Kansas City for like 30 years. Always had golf tournaments. In fact, Tom Watson and I now co-host a tournament every year here in Kansas City. He lost a good friend, his caddy, Bruce Edwards. I lost a good friend of mine. One of the first persons I met outside the Royal organization, a guy named Keith Worthington. And the ALS chapter is named after Keith Worthington. And so we had golf tournaments for years and years. And, you know, we would raise maybe $70,000. And we'd have a dinner every year, maybe raise $30,000. We were raising maybe about $100,000 a year for treatment, research, and patient services. And the next thing you know, they come up with this idea of an ice bucket challenge, and it raises $200 million.
That's so beautiful.
And now Major League Baseball's behind it, and everybody's promoting it. I mean, we got to knock this disease out. This is the worst disease anybody could ever be inflicted with.
And all 30 teams are participating, and what happens is one team will challenge the next team. So I guess Ned Yost is probably going to challenge Robin Ventura and the Chicago White Sox.
Let's hope so. And last year I got challenged by Keith Urban. How's that?
Yeah.
Keith Urban.
Oh, man.
And I went down to Crown Center. We did it on the tennis courts up on top. And thank God it was in the summer. It was a really hot day. I just got through working out. I went there, and they dumped a bucket of water over my head, and it actually felt pretty good.
Oh, on a 95-degree day.
And helped raise $230 million.
Wow.
What a concept.
And I heard Ned challenging American League manager Terry Francona earlier. So we'll see if Tito follows through with that.
And that's the whole deal. You challenge people. You challenge 3 people every time you get it, and they dump the ice over your head, or you dump it over your head, and you challenge 3 people. And when you do it, you write a check to ALS, and then whoever you challenge writes it, and it just goes on and on and on, and that's how they raised all the money. But it's a great cause, and it does feel good in the summertime.
It does. We were in Arlington, Texas, and the humidity was like 100% last year, and each member of the production team went through it and had the challenge, and we did it right at the hotel, and they have a beautiful golf course there as we see a line drive, and Gerard Dyson will take care of this.
You know, George, I can tell you from firsthand experience, having lost my mother 6 years ago with ALS, and it was painful.
Yeah.
It was so amazing how quickly your muscles deteriorated.
But your brain is still there.
And that was the
that's the frustrating part.
That was the hard
about
part.
it.
My mom,
you lose control of your whole body, but your brain's still there.
She used a pen and she wrote while she could, and then when she stopped writing, she talked with her eyes.
Yeah.
And
they have computers now that you can move your toe, or you can use a computer with your eyes to communicate with your husband or your wife or your sons or your daughters. I mean, it's just a dreadful disease. And you know, a lot of people don't know it as ALS. They know it as Lou Gehrig's disease.
Right.
Lou might have been one of the greatest baseball players ever to play the game of baseball. And so it's kind of cool that Major League Baseball has really gotten behind this thing, because we really do have to strike out this disease, don't we, Rex?
Please.
When you see it firsthand, it's dreadful.
Oh.
And all you have to do, fans, is go to ALSIcebucketchallenge.org.
Tester.
Hosmer gets it to Guthrie.
George, thank you for what you do for everyone, but especially ALS. There's a great need to find a cure for that. Way to go, buddy. Thank you.
professionals to Kauffman Stadium on Thursday, August 27th for Business Day at the K. The event will feature a pregame presentation by Royals General Manager Dayton Moore, networking opportunities and snacks, $10 loaded value to be used for food and beverage throughout the ballpark, and of course the chance to watch the Royals take on the Baltimore Orioles. Here goes Eric Hosmer down the right field line, and it is foul. Oh. Well, I was just reading that small business day promo. Royals.com/business is the way to go. And Ned Yost wondering if he should challenge, but it was a foul ball.
Ooh, man, he jumped all over that. If he can wait a tad second longer, it'd have been 1-0.
Samardzija, we told you, was really jumped by the Yankees in his last start, gave up 2 home runs. And there is a line smash caught by the second baseman Sanchez, 1 out. Well, you can't hit 2 balls harder than what Haas just did. 1 foul and 1 into the glove of Sanchez.
No, and back-to-back pitches, man. Haas's timing was right on it.
Game's not fair.
No, it's really not.
There's Alex Gordon. We'll be talking with Gordo at the top of the 3rd inning, this being Nebraska Day. Now Kendrys Morales. Outside ball 1. Morales hitting .288, 12 home runs, 76 driven in. Alex, it was great to watch him take batting practice. And boy, did he look good. I would imagine, Rex, a guy like Gordon, who is so well prepared. I mean, he eats the right foods, the way he prepares himself day in, day out. It might be the medical team's responsibility to slow him down.
Yeah, and he's been a very good student of listening to the training staff, as they're an award-winning training staff here, and that's important for his total recovery. He's got to be able to listen to him because he's never had an injury like this before, and so far, keep our fingers crossed, so good.
Down the line, fielded by the first baseman, and there are 2 out now. Well, it's time for our University of Kansas hospital injury report, and it's on Gordo, who took batting practice before the ball game. Jeff Blum, physical therapist, was right there to watch his every move. And as you talked about, the Royals with an award-winning medical team here, and very respected.
Well, that's a good sign if he's out there. Not trying to do too much. You notice he's going to left field. He's not trying to turn, and when you turn and pull balls, you use your lower half more.
Again, it is Nebraska night at the ballpark. Some 7,000 Husker fans came down last year. Alex went deep on Husker night, and now he'll just join them to cheer on the Royals. Here is Salvador Perez. Salvi 0 for 3 last night after going 4 for 8 in the Detroit series with a home run, his 16th. That leads the club. One ball, 2 strikes.
Samardzija, so far, he's using that fastball, and he's mixing in some sliders. He's got a few cutters, and he's thrown just a couple of split fingers. So first time through, he likes to use his sinking fastball and try to see what they're doing with it.
Well, he has this one rolled up the middle. Ramirez has it. Throws out Perez, and we head to the 3rd inning, still looking for our first run. Here it was Husker night at the K, and guess what happened? Alex Gordon, Nebraska All-American, went deep on Husker night, and the Big Red fans were roaring. And after the game, this is what Alex had to say.
Go Big Red!
And it is Husker night at the K, and we are now joined by Alex Gordon, who's down in the Royals dugout, and we were delighted to watch him take batting practice. I'm sure only he was more happy than we were. Alex, how'd you feel?
Well, to be out there for the first time in like 4 weeks, I was, so excited to get out there and just be on the field. We didn't have BP, but it was just me and Moose, but it was good to feel like I was doing something part of the team, and it went pretty well.
Ramirez with a 2-base hit to open this third inning.
Alex, all the agility exercises and strengthening, all that stuff you've been doing prior to getting in the batting cage for the first time, did you feel it at all? Were there any time where you go, oh, I better slow down a little bit?
Not yet, which is a good thing. We didn't want to push it, didn't want to have any steps backwards. So we've been pretty cautious about it. The trainers, Jeff Blum, Nick Kenny, Kyle Turner have done a great job with me. I'm usually a pretty hard worker, but they've kind of held me back, and trying to be as smart as I can about this so I can get back in time.
Now, Alex, we're watching you in the batting cage right now, and you're going to left field with everything. Now, I was telling the folks, you use your lower half a little bit more when you turn on the ball. Did you try to pull any then, or were you just going all the way to the opposite field?
Yeah, I was just swinging. Hitting's really not the thing that's bothersome for me with my groin. It's more agility work in the outfield, making those cuts to the side and the lateral movements. So hitting hasn't been an issue, and it's just about getting those movements in the outfield and base running, I think.
Meantime, Sanchez with the sacrifice to move Ramirez to third base. And Alex, it's been recently announced that you, along with 22 other student athletes, are among the inaugural University of Nebraska Athletics Hall of Fame. How do you feel to be included in that?
Oh, it's awesome. I just found out about it a couple weeks ago, and what an honor that is, especially to be the first one. Couldn't be happier to be part of this university, and actually be a part of the history is even better. So it's something that I'm always going to be proud of, and always going to be something I cherish.
Alex, you're getting a chance right now to be, you're in Rusty Kuntz's territory down at that end of the dugout.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard his whistle. Now, you're used to taking his orders all the way from left field. What's it like being in there watching him work?
He's always moving around. Doesn't sit still. He drinks Mountain Dew during the game, so that's probably why he can't sit still. And yeah, he whistles, and it doesn't sound that loud, but when I'm in left field, every time he does it, I look in. So he does a good job of putting us where we need to be and getting our attention.
Right now, the infield drawn in with Giovanni Soto. Chicago is 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position last night. Royals won 3-2, and there's a swing and a miss. And that's one of the things we've really been impressed with this year, Alex. The Royals pitching staff really pitches, as Jeremy Guthrie has told us several times, to our great defense.
Yeah. Well, we got this field, a lot of space, a lot of great outfielders, and yeah, they pitch a contact, let the defense do the work, and sometimes they strike guys out like that.
And that's another big strikeout. So right now, the Sox are 0 for 10 in this series against Kansas City.
Alex, I got to ask about Ben Zobrist, and what, in your opinion, has he brought to the team?
Well, I mean, you guys have seen it already. Just a quality hitter, puts together great at bats every time he goes up there, and what an addition. In Toronto, 3 home runs. The way he stepped in and just right off the bat, just making production and play every position, which we haven't seen yet, but I'm sure down the road he'll be doing that.
Alex, how have you handled being on the disabled list? It could be tough. I know. I was on it several times in my career. What have you learned?
Just I was on the disabled list 2010, 2009. I kind of learned a lot then how special this game is and how you shouldn't take it for granted. And I went through a good time period where I wasn't on the deal, didn't want to be on the deal, and it's because I was fortunate to be out on the field to put on this major league jersey every day, and I don't think you realize it until you go on the deal. And you don't get to go out there and play every day how special it really is.
Right now, Adam Eaton at the plate. And Guthrie pitches high, ball 3. But Alex, one of the things that happened last year, I remember when Eric Hosmer was hit in the hand. He missed 4 weeks. Nick Kenny told him, he said, I know you're down right now, but you keep yourself in good shape, and when you come back, you'll be fresh when everybody is tired. And it took Eric a couple of weeks, but when he got hot, remember, it was late September, and then had that remarkable October. Are you taking the same strategy, and has Nick told you the same thing?
Well, I hope I can do what Hosmer did in the playoffs and during the stretch run at the end. You know, what an addition it was to get him back at the end of the year and see what he did. So, you know, with our team, when guys go down on the DL or get hurt, you know, guys step up. And, you know, look, ever since I've been hurt, Hosmer's done the exact same thing. He stepped up and really been, you know, doing a great job of, you know, picking up this team. And, you know, hopefully when I come back, I can contribute the way Hosmer did, for sure.
And you'll keep yourself in tip-top shape, but in a 162 game grind, is it more physically tired or mentally tired you can become during the season?
It takes a toll both ways. Jeremy Guthrie, way to get out of it. Yeah.
Well, Gordo, we welcome you back. It was great to see you today. And the Royals will bat in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Thanks, Alex.
Seat. When Maddie was just 13, she was diagnosed with brain tumor after complaining of headaches. After having the tumor removed, though, in May of 2013, Maddie and her family have tried to raise awareness for pediatric brain cancer research, constantly telling her story and getting involved with the Team Jack Foundation based out of Nebraska. Maddie continues to raise awareness and funds for the disease. Way to go, Maddie.
Thank you, Maddie, and you have a beautiful smile. Congratulations on being in that special seat.
It really is amazing, Rex, when you see youngsters Maddie's age, just 14 years old, making that kind of an impact. No matter how old you are.
Well, we see young leaders all the time emerging. Keep it up.
Get what you give. And here is Alex Rios, and he fouls it back. Alex with a good game last night. Had a key double in the contest, and that double came in the 5th inning and gave the Royals a early 1-0 lead. Chicago would come back and tie it, and then Casey would score 2 in the 5th.
You know, Samardzija, being the great athlete that he is, you know, at Notre Dame, 155 receptions, 2,266 yards, 27 touchdowns. This guy was a star in one of the best football colleges there is, and so being that type of competitor, I asked him, how do you back down? You have that mentality of a football player. Can that hurt you? He said it absolutely can. You have to be able to back off, and that's the hardest part. He said he fights it all the time, because if he's overamped, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to lose his focus. And he's going to find himself in trouble. So he battles that mentality of that football, I'm going to get you type of thing.
Yeah, Brady Quinn was his quarterback, and he said Jeff absolutely loved the pressure and had so many big catches on third down. The ball is struck to the left side. Ramirez has it. 1 out. Our T-Mobile call to action. Now you can tweet your strongest fan photo, use hashtag KCDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
It was this very interesting conversation to be able to talk with Samardzija about the difference of the sports. And he said, in football, you can always just push more and play a little harder, run a little faster. And he said in baseball, it's not the case. So a lot of times it's the opposite. You need to pull back.
Well, he jumps ahead of Infante 0-2.
You need to take a second breath, a deep breath, collect yourself. It's about being under control physically and more mentally in this sport of baseball.
A great breaking ball there, and he strikes out Infante. That is his first strikeout of the evening.
He's getting some great movement on his two-seam sinker, and also that pitch there, that slider's been so far effective for him. Look at how he's got some good depth. It's moving down today. It's not moving lateral. That's the kind of break they want. Lateral movement hitters like. It stays in the hitting zone better. It's easier to square up.
You were talking about his aggressive mentality, and it has hindered him a little bit. I remember the quote from Greg Maddux when asked, when did you finally get it, become able to transfer your success? Well, Dyson, not the kind of bunt that he wanted, but Maddux said, when I learned to throw soft. And the Sox are 25-30 on the road this year. But fans, as summer comes to a close, so do summer fireworks. Don't miss your chance to see the final fireworks show of the season this coming Friday as the Royals host the Angels. Enjoy dollar hot dogs and peanuts for Buck Night. Then take in a spectacular fireworks show with your family and friends. Get your tickets now at Royals.com. Well, here at Kauffman Stadium, Jeremy Guthrie worked out of a jam in the third inning, striking out Soto, finally getting Saladino on a comebacker with runners in first and third.
Jeremy Guthrie is pitching exactly like Ned Yost and Dave Island wanted to. He's pitching with a sense of urgency. Pitched in a while because they didn't need him. It's not like they skipped his start. They had an off day. But Guthrie has, talk about Alex Gordon being well conditioned and watch what he eats. He's the same way. Guthrie's a well prepared pitcher, as prepared as any other pitcher physically and mentally.
Abreu to center field. That will chase Kane back and see you later. Abreu with his 20th home run of the year in Chicago takes the early 1-0 lead.
Abreu does a lot of damage to center field and right center. He's not just a pull type of power hitter, and there's a good example, and we'll show you why. This pitch was in the middle. Guthrie will tell you that was a mistake. Salvi had to reach back over. He was sitting away, but he keeps his hands inside the ball and has a tremendous ability to lift.
Now Melky Cabrera, and he has been their hottest player of late, and lashes one down the left field line, and that will bang around the corner. Dyson with a strong throw, but Melky gets there with a double. Rex, you were talking about Jeremy Guthrie. He has not started since July 29th, so he's received 10 days rest. Obviously, a veteran can handle that better than a younger pitcher might be.
No question about it. He has a track record. He knows himself, but he keeps himself in great shape, and he threw a lot in between on those 10 days. So when you throw a lot, you keep your arms strong, you keep those muscles all, you know, in the same place they were before your last start. So there's no atrophy. Muscles don't deteriorate when you use them like he has.
And as we take a look at our Academy leaderboard, August has been a good month for Jeremy. 18 starts, a 9-5 record. That's the most wins against anyone and any month, and also the second lowest ERA. Ground ball up the middle, past Escobar into center field. Cabrera will make it to third base, so that's 3 straight hits off Guthrie here in the 4th inning. A home run, a double, and now a single by Garcia.
Well, I tell you, I don't know who taught Melky Cabrera how to run the bases, but man, that's another mistake on the bases. They should have a run right there. On a ball hit to your left, you advance to third. You don't go back. This ball's on the ground. Watch him. He goes back to second base. That cost him a run.
Do you think he thought Guthrie might snare it?
No, he was heading back there for whatever reason. I don't know, but we saw him go to third base on a ball earlier when they played them, on a ball right at Escobar, and Esky got him at third. Another base running blunder.
And because we're early in the game, the Royals will play their infield back. They'll give up a run to get 2 outs, and Guthrie throws over. Garcia has attempted 11 steals this year and has only been successful 5 times. Royals playing LaRoche to pull. Strike 1. LaRoche hammered a home run in the 9th inning last night, and he takes outside here.
Yeah, well, he showed a little bit of that power that he possesses, taking Holland pretty deep out there in the fountains.
Left-handers have really hit Jeremy hard this year, to a tune of a .337 average, and 13 of the 17 home runs, 13 of the 18 now, because Abreu just went deep, have been struck by left-handers. There are the splits coming into the game. Cabrera at third, Garcia first. Grounder to third. They go to 1 and 2.
That's an interesting roll. Moose had to hesitate a little bit until Escobar could get over there to cover second base, and Fonte was playing him way to pull. And these guys are so good defensively, but one of the reasons is they communicate. They know what to do before it's hit. Look where Infante is. He's way over to your right. Now Escobar, he went after it. He said, okay, I'll take it. Moose hesitated instead of coming up and just firing. And he gave him a nice feed. And Guthrie rolled up another one.
Yeah, because I'm sure that third baseman is usually waiting for a fielder to come towards him, not come out of his peripheral vision. But Escobar raised his glove like, I will cover. And now Moose grabs it and throws out Ramirez, but the Sox score 2 and take the early 2-0 lead. High-speed internet. The U-Burst revolves around you. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT. By Panera Bread, avoid the lines. Order online with rapid pickup and delivery at PaneraBread.com. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit us at your MidwestFordDealers.com. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery with you at Kauffman Stadium. Royals won last night 3-2. They trail in game 2, 2-0, looking for their first base runner against Jeff Samardzija. He will face the top of the order, Escobar, Moustakas, Kane. One ball, one strike. As we take a look at his first, second, third time through the order, he actually gets better. He does have an ERA over 7 in the first, but was able to get the Royals in order in the first. And Kansas City, quite frankly, that does quite a bit of their damage later in ball games, like after the 7th inning.
You know, Samardzija hasn't missed out over the middle too often so far early in this game.
Escobar to center field, and that will break up the perfect game thrown by Samardzija through 3.
You saw Soto before the pitch, that the last 2 pitches alert the third baseman Saladino. Right before the pitch is coming, he kind of puts his glove out like Salvi does. It's kind of alert the third baseman that we're coming inside, and a nice inside out swing. He fought it off. Dropped it out there for a knock. Escobar's 114th hit on the season.
Mike Moustakas, the batter. He has 3 hits in his career against Samardzija, and 2 of them are home runs.
Okay, all straight up. Moose likes it because there's a lot of holes out there.
So Samardzija has the options with the 0-2 count.
couple home runs in his career off Samardzija.
One on opening day. We told you went to the opposite field. First Oppo home run he's ever had. Rolls that one down the third base line.
Show you those home runs. Man, this is the Moose's first hit of the year. Fastball up and away. Went to the opposite field. This one here, and he hit this ball in a deep part of the ballpark. Good level swing. Trying to get him out upstairs.
Yeah, we've seen that recently. Certainly John Danks worked Moose upstairs, and so did Matt Boyd, the left-hander who beat the Royals for Detroit. Escobar did steal a base last night, his 10th of the season.
Yeah, you just saw a little bit of the quick feet from Samardzija, great athlete.
Good block by Soto, or Escobar would have been in scoring position with nobody out. Royals did all of their damage in the middle innings last night, scoring a run in the 5th, a run and 2 in the 6th, and would pull away to win 3-2. Volquez was magnificent, allowing just 1 run in 7 innings. Again, he tests him upstairs, and he's gone from 0-2 to 3-2, and this may entice Ned Yost to send Escobar as Esky turns to look over at Rusty Kuntz, his first base coach.
It's like Samardzija's overthrew that pitch a little bit. Sometimes he's guilty of overthrowing, and when that does, it's not good for a sinker baller. That ball stays up and it flattens out.
Samardzija's thinking he might go as well. Mike looking for his first RBI in more than 2 weeks. And there's ball 4 with Escobar going. Samardzija, after being in front 0-2, then works the count full and misses. Ball 4, 2 on with nobody out. Our DraftKings players to watch tonight, just go to DraftKings.com and enter promo code BROYAL. Moose 0 for 1 with the walk. Xander Bogaerts 0 for 2. Urban Santana tonight at Cleveland has given up 4 runs in only 2 innings. In the last 4 starts, Jimenez of Baltimore with a 1-3 record and an ERA over 10. Well, that will bring to the plate Lorenzo Cain. And these two have a bit of a history that goes back to April. So Samardzija was suspended 5 games for his part in an April 24th brawl going after Lorenzo Cain.
He's got some nice numbers against Samardzija.
3 for 6. 2 big extra base hits last night. Foul.
Some good arms out there by the White Sox. Avisail Garcia, 12 outfield assists in right. Adam Eaton in center has 8. I don't know how well he'll be throwing with that shoulder, though, banged up. And Melky in left has 5. But Melky in left field, he's really deep. So a base hit out there, I don't know if he'll be able to throw out Escobar.
Well, same strategy he had on Moustakas. Got ahead 0-2, then went upstairs with the fastball. Cain disciplines, laid off. Cain was mad at himself on that road trip. He said, I was swinging at everything. Well, he made good contact last night with the double and the triple. And then he went from fastball on 0-2 and then breaking ball to even the count at 2-2, and you know he does not want to go 3-2. So Kane might get something to crack on here. Breaking ball misses away. 3-2 count. The last two batters he's gone 0-2 and has been unable to finish off Moustakas, who he walked, and now has a 3-2 count with Lorenzo Cain.
Try to get that outside corner with that cutter type fastball he throws. Didn't work.
It's down low. Kane walks. The bases are loaded, and Samardzija, after being handed a 2-0 lead, really struggling to open the bottom of the fourth. And the Royals, one of the most aggressive teams in baseball. They had gone 8 games and walked only 5 times. But HUD, in their last 3 games, they have now walked 14 times in their last 2.5 games.
That's really good. That's something that they've been missing in their offense. A little more patience at the plate goes a long way. Hosmer has had a pretty nice career so far, but he's never grand slammed.
How about the pitches he saw from Samardzija first time up? He hammered him.
He was on him.
He blasted a home run foul, and then the very next pitch lined out. Great catch by the second baseman, Sanchez.
Listen to this crowd. They sense something's happened.
Ball 1.
Something's gonna happen.
Well, you said that Samardzija has a good sinker, but he's thrown a lot of pitches up here in this 4th inning to Kansas City batters.
It's almost like he's trying too hard. He's overthrowing.
Up the middle. Ramirez goes second. They got 1. That's all they'll get. And Escobar scores to make it a 2-1 score.
Pretty fancy behind the back assist by Alexei Ramirez. He jammed him. Got a pitch inside. Look at that nifty glove work there behind the back. Got it. That's all they can get. Oh, it's running hard.
Hosmer, though, with his 60th RBI of the year. He now joins Kendrys Morales, who will come to the plate. The two Royals with over 60. And Kendrys with 76 this year. That's good enough for 5th in the American League. Josh Donaldson leads all American leaguers with 82. Then Chris Davis with 79. Ball 1. Ball 2.
And you know, he really would like to get Morales to swing it a ball down, because if there's one statistic that Morales is not proud of, and that's grounding into 18 double plays. So that's exactly what Samardzija is looking for here. Morales, look for him to stay inside the ball and go to the opposite field to stay away from rolling over his hands.
And it almost looks like Samardzija wants no part of Kendrys Morales.
Well, I guess Samardzija reads the statistics too. 7th for his last 8 with runners in scoring position is Morales.
Now throwing 50 pitches, trying to get through 4. Now he finds the zone, and it's 3-1. Looked like Kendrys was taken all the way. Fouled back. He went after him with 95-mile-an-hour heat.
Yeah, that's a good fastball. boring in. And just got a piece of it.
Hit sharply, but Saladino bobbles the baseball. A run will score. It looked like a sure 5-4-3 double play. Saladino is able to get Morales at first base. But Moustakas was able to come home and score the tying run.
Saladino showing some quick reaction there from the transfer, though. Glove to hand didn't happen. Stayed with it alertly, and Haas alertly, with nobody covering third base, is able to come over.
So 2 groundouts score runs, but quite frankly, Samardzija caused himself his own troubles when, after the base hit by Escobar, he walked Moustakas and walked Lorenzo Cain. 2 groundouts by Hosmer and Morales have made it a 2-2 score here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And now Gendrich with 77 RBIs, tied for 3rd most in the American League, tied with Mark Teixeira and Jose Bautista, each with 77 coming into today. But Toronto's game is over. They beat the Yankees. Perez takes a strike. Samardzija's had no problem getting ahead in this inning. Finishing guys off has been a challenge. That's down the line. In comes Hosmer with the go-ahead run, and Kansas City has a 3-2 lead.
Well, we haven't seen a hit to the opposite field like that by Salvi in quite some time, but he's really good going that way when he realizes they're not going to try to challenge him in. And he's able to recognize this slider. And watch it. This is a beautiful pitch that's off the plate, really. And Salvi going with it nicely.
Now Rios goes gap. Perez will hold at second base. The Royals will send 8 men to the plate against Jeff Samardzija in this 4th inning. First 3 innings, he only needed 28 pitches to get 9 outs. He's already thrown 29 total pitches in just this 4th inning.
Well, inside, Samardzija's got to be telling himself, man, I made a great pitch on Salvi. This one here was up. Okay, that's on me. But, man, these Royals, they're just frenzy hitting on me. Gotta like it if you're a Royals fan.
But quite frankly, Rex, you were right. That pitch to Salvador Perez was exactly where Samardzija wanted it. It was just an excellent at bat by Salvi to reach out, and I will bet about 7 inches off the plate he hits it solidly to right field. 2 on, 2 out for Infante. He goes after the first pitch. Omar struck out on a nasty slider down and away from him. First time up. It's the only strikeout on the evening for Samardzija. Popped him up right side. LaRoche, that will do it. But the Royals score 3 runs, sending 8 men to the plate in the 4th inning, and now have the lead on Chicago.
In the American League this afternoon, Toronto and New York scoreless pitchers duel until Justin Smoke grand slam. Troy Tulowitzki homered also. Mazda Gamebreak has the Blue Jays winning 6-0. They've won 10 of their last 11, 2.5 out. That right there is Mike Dobbs, and he got a phone call from Alex Gordon a bunch of years ago when Alex was switched from third base to left field. The significance is this. Mike was Alex's high school baseball coach at Lincoln Southeast, and when he made his cuts, Alex's freshman year, he kept one freshman. It was Alex. The problem was Alex's older brother, Eric, was the star of the team playing third base, but he had to find a way to keep Alex's bat in the lineup. He was that good as a freshman, and so they put him in left field for that 1 year until Eric was gone. Who knew back then, all these years later, Alex would be the best left fielder in the major leagues?
Wow. Eric Hosmer gets it to Guthrie in time to get Sanchez 3-1. And Joel, I wanted to let you know, in this past offseason, I was working a college basketball game with Nick Baugh, who was Alex Gordon's quarterback at Lincoln Southeast, and they were quite a combination. Baugh was the great passer and Gordon the great wide receiver / safety. And to this day, Nick Baugh and Alex Gordon still hold the Nebraska high school longest pass reception record at 99 yards. And Nick Baugh explained it to me. He said, I basically dropped back in the end zone, threw it as far as I could and as high as I could, and Gordon, the great athlete that he was, just leaped up, took it away from two defenders, and ran to the end zone. And I repeated that story to Alex, and he said, yeah, quite frankly, it wasn't like that at all. It was just an easy catch, and I just ran in. They fell down. Well,
I can tell you this, that Alex, some of the rehab he was doing on the road in Toronto, he was looking like a safety or a defensive back, working on his cutting, very deliberate as he's working on that injury. And no, he's not going back to Nebraska. No, he's not going to play football, and there was no contact. But Alex does look like a guy that could get out there and maybe still hit someone as a safety. I will say this to you, Biz and Hud, having traveled a bit with Alex for caravans in the past to Nebraska, it's like traveling with Elvis or the Beatles. You can't go anywhere without massive crowds surrounding Alex.
And he handles it so well. Well, it would be great to get him back in that lineup. Give Ned Yost a little greater strength, but the Royals right now with a 9.5 game lead in the American League Central. With one down, Giovanni Soto, the batter.
Like a little quick pitch by Guthrie.
A 3-2 count to Soto. Doesn't want to lose the number 9 batter, and he had a key strikeout of Soto with a runner at third, only one out in that third inning, and Chicago was threatening. So he challenges him, and Soto lines it to left for a base hit. Royals fans, mark your calendars for the 5th T-shirt Tuesday of the season as the Royals face off against the Tigers. The first 10,000 fans will receive a blue 7th inning stretch T-shirt courtesy of Sprint. For tickets, go to Royals.com/T-shirt Tuesday or call 1-800-6-ROYALS. Now Adam Eaton was flied out and walked. By the way, Hud, on a personal note, we'd like to wish a happy 65th anniversary to Bill and Virginia Thatinga from St. Joe, Missouri this weekend. They're at home, but there are 40 children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren at the game tonight. Bill and Virginia, we know you're watching, so way to go. Congratulations on your 65th wedding anniversary.
"65 years? It's awesome. Wow. Way to go."
Guthrie tried to tie him up inside instead of 2-1 count.
Guthrie, he took a lot off of this curveball here. He just kind of floated it up there. You don't see him throw that slow on his breaking balls very often, so he looks like he's creating a little bit. You've seen a quick pitch.
Eaton, it went a mile high to right field. Rios has it measured and will make the catch for out number 2. one of the things you talked about in the opening, HUD, was one of his keys was to keep that ball down, use your defense, in 10 groundouts.
Yeah, that's perfect. Pitching to contact, he knows exactly what to do.
The one strikeout he got was when he needed it. Runner at third base, 1 out. Going for the strikeout, struck out Soto. Right now, that's the difference in the ball game, because Chicago scored 2 in the 4th. KC scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th. Line drive over the head of Escobar. Dyson's there and holds Soto at second base. And now the guy that Jeremy did not want to face with runners on base, Jose Abreu.
Well, he definitely wanted to pitch to Saladino and try to keep it down, and he just missed. That would have been a ground ball to Escobar, because with 2 outs, that brings up Abreu, and Salvi wants to talk about it.
Okay, let's talk about, you've got Jeremy Guthrie. You know his 4 pitches, HUD. What might this conversation be about with Salvador on their approach? They went over the game plan before the game on how they want to pitch to Jose Abreu.
Let's try to keep that ball away from him, and then maybe pound him inside off the plate. So make him think that you're going to try to get him out inside, but then you want to finish him off away. Guy that goes to the opposite field as well as he does, you got to be careful when you go away. Look at that, good spot down.
He's a very aggressive hitter. He's only walked 24 times. Well, he's got a strike. It was a loud strike, but a 1-1 count now. Guthrie trying to keep Chicago quiet after his team gave him his first lead of the night. That's what you're talking about for effect inside.
That's right. You got to get in there. Big home run hitters, you got to tie them up.
Tell you, he took an inside fastball last night and hit it solidly to right center field for a double. And again, Guthrie comes inside, but now a 3-1 count. And he'll have no rest, because the guy on deck, Melky Cabrera, has been even hotter than Abreu of late.
Guthrie, he's not afraid to pitch inside, obviously, but he leads the Royals pitchers in hit batters with 8.
3-2.
Good changeup.
Crowd picks up at the K. Big RBI guy for the Sox with a 3-2 count, 2 on, 2 out. Another off-speed pitch knocked foul.
He's keeping him off balance with the changeup. It's 3 in this at bat he's thrown him. Fastball's in. Backing him off the plate. And try to finish him off away.
And they've got him picked off. What a marvelous move by Jeremy Guthrie. And now he doesn't have to pitch to Abreu with runners on base. I cannot believe what Soto just did.
Well, Guthrie, he's heads up, and he's really good at reading runners, and he saw it, and what a timely out.
Bottom of the 5th, Jeff Montgomery here. Guys, I just had a chance to talk with Joel Goldberg about the situation here. Jeremy Guthrie, 2 outs, full count, perfect situation for an inside move. Sure enough, he pulls it off. Really nice opportunity to get that 3rd out without having to face Jose Abreu.
But Monty, I don't know how many times in Little League we're told by the pitcher or by your coach, hey, you have to make sure the pitcher is going home, even if you delay your break. And that's why it shocked us so much up here in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt a big mistake by Soto. Not the fastest of runner, maybe trying to get a little bit of an edge, knowing these Royals outfielders have some solid arms on them, trying to get a little bit of a break to maybe score on a base hit by Abreu, but we'll never know now.
And Abreu will then lead off the 6th inning with nobody on. The Royals like that.
You know, talking with Hawk Harrelson when we were in Chicago last, he said that their base running this year, the White Sox, has been poor.
Dyson tries to drop one in, and he does. And Dyson off to the races. We might see 3. Triple.
Gerard Dyson, he knew Samardzija was trying to throw high fastballs to him. And that's what most pitchers try to do against Dyson, and he was able to meet it. Didn't hit it exactly like he wanted, but he placed it perfectly. The ball just died out there in right center field, and you knew whenever you saw the back of Avisal Garcia that he was going to be able to get 3 with that tremendous speed. Lead-off triple.
So the infield in, and that's the Royals' 30th triple of the year. Escobar up. Ooh. And Esky gets hit on the right hand, it appears. Head athletic trainer Nick Kenny comes out to make sure Escobar is all right. Such an important guy on this Kansas City team, and Ned Yost also out there.
Samardzija, he knows Escobar's very aggressive on the first pitch, so he tried to come inside, tie him up, and he got away from him.
And Esky just said it looked like it just brushed off the top of his hand.
So he's trying to come inside here, and it looked like it got him on the forearm, below the wrist.
So now let's see how they play it with runners 1st and 3rd. Will they play the middle back and the corners in? They have Sanchez, the second baseman, back. But Ramirez, now he's beginning to backpedal a little bit. Dyson with exceptional speed at 3rd. And Escobar, very good speed at 1st. Moose takes upstairs. They have pounded him up throughout the evening. Mike was able to show great discipline in that 4th inning, working the walk and coming around to score on a ground out.
Defense, they're willing to give the run for a double play at this time of the game.
Mike with a high drive, right field. Garcia will make the catch. Dyson scores. He'll come home. Escobar from 1st to 2nd is safe, and the Royals have a 4-2 lead. Rex, you were just talking about Hawk Harrelson saying the Chicago White Sox base running has not been strong this year. Well, this inning has been an example of terrific Royal base running.
It's right, and sometimes that base running, it may not seem big, but it is. It's extremely large, and those are some of the many little things that the Royals do well to beat their opponents.
Even though Garcia with 12 outfield assists, Escobar was tagging, and you could see that Garcia did not have his feet planted and couldn't make that accurate throw to 2nd. Kane with a mighty rip, strike 1. Dan Jennings warming in the Chicago bullpen. Escobar will race to third. Now a ground ball or fly ball could give the Royals a 3-run lead.
Now that pitch by Samardzija was way short. Soto did a great job of guessing where it was going to land and end up, and he turns his glove just in time and couldn't quite glove it. But a great effort there. See how he turned that glove over? I mean, right when that ball hit, almost gloved it.
Infield in. Tight 2-1. We told you they do have a history. Back in April, they went after each other in that brawl in Chicago. Both players were eventually suspended. Samardzija for 5 games. Back in the count at 2-2, but Samardzija only with 1 strikeout on the evening, and he came into this game with 114 in 153 innings.
Samardzija's doing to the Royals exactly what Guthrie was doing to Abreu, pitching hard inside.
They're the Kane fans.
You want to leave that ball out over the plate for Lorenzo. Slider now, maybe.
Oh. There's a base hit to right field. Escobar charges home, and the Royals are up 5-2. Why don't we make this our cheap drive of the game? Kane off Samardzija.
And why not? Stayed with the fastball, thought he might try to go soft away, and he didn't. And coming inside again, Lorenzo came with a good level swing on a high fastball, just fighting it off. Knocking in his 48th run.
And he has that infectious smile on his face as he'll grab that lead. Lorenzo might be going 19 steals this year. Hosmer at the plate. Ball 1.
Now you watch Soto throw that ball back to Samardzija, and he gets on one knee and he leans forward and throws it. And I talked to him when we were in Chicago last about that. I said, do you have the yips? And what I mean by that is are you not comfortable standing up and throwing the ball back to the pitcher? And he says, no, not at all. Last year I had a knee injury, and it was too much to stand up and throw it on every single pitch. I mean, think about that. You're catching all those pitches every time. He said it's easier on his body, so he just goes to one knee. So it's more physical than mental. And he's really good at it, so it's not like he lobs it. Because I played against a guy named Mackie Sasser way back in the National League when he was with the Mets, and he had the yips, and he would tap his glove 2 or 3 times, stand up, and lob it to the pitcher.
Hosmer now with a 2-2 count. I remember watching that. It was almost painful to watch as a broadcaster because Sasek was fine throwing to second base, but could not throw the ball back to the pitcher.
Yeah, and I remember, stealing third when he was throwing that ball back to the pitcher at second base. I was getting my lead over there while he was throwing the ball back and just took off and was successful. It was really difficult for him to compete.
Hosmer. Sanchez with a marvelous play to throw him out. Kane will make it to second base, but I think Hos might have a conversation with Mr. Sanchez after the game. That's 2 hits he's robbed him of.
Well, just think of how many hits Hosmer has taken. I don't even think we have a number on that. So really, what goes around comes around. Good swing. Hosmer really is having some great at-bats, so there's no need to get down, but it does frustrate you.
Yeah, Eric lined out. Then Ramirez made a play behind his back to get the force at second base his second time up, and now Sanchez takes a base hit away from him and a ball that was headed to right field. Now Kane goes. There's the throw to third, and Kane is safe with his 20th steal.
Chris Siegel, third base umpire. Excellent position. He was standing right up on top of that. Nice job, Chris. See how the umpire closes in. Gets right down on. Saw Lorenzo Cain's hand get in there. Didn't try to call it too soon. His nose is right down there on the play.
Royals 5 runs, 5 hits. White Sox 2 runs, 6 hits. Morales drove in his 77th run with a ground out in the 4th. And Cain really moving down that line a long way with Saladino playing so far off the line, and now a ball in the dirt.
Look, you get as much as that third baseman will let you get. And Samardzija looked at Cain almost halfway down the baseline, and it flustered him. See, Soto's going, hey, look, you gotta play him a little bit closer. And sure enough, Saladino's walking in now to kind of shorten that up a little bit. Okay.
There was a moment in the Detroit series, Hud, where the third baseman was playing well off the bag. Cain kept wandering down, and you could tell it was in the mind of the pitcher, a right-hander who was facing Lorenzo Cain. He was dancing, and the next Royal up got that base hit.
Best RBI run producer with 2 outs in baseball right here. .40 RBIs with 2 outs. That's a clutch hitter if I've ever seen one.
.31 pitches in the 4th inning after only throwing 28 in the first 3, and now he's getting ready to deliver his 20th of the 5th. And Morales sends one deep to right center field, and that ball is off the wall. Cain will score, and Morales into second base with another double.
41 2-out RBIs. Fans being entertained here at the K with a nice outburst. 4th and 5th inning, a 3-spot in each inning, and that's going to send Samardzija to the showers.
Wow, he has a record of 0-4 against Kansas City. Pitched very well against the rest of the clubs, but Morales, you just said it, Hud, one of the best 2-out hitters in the game. That's now 41 RBIs with 2 outs. And the crowd's booing Samardzija. Well, Jeff Samardzija has pitched very well in the month of July. His last start did not go well against the New York Yankees, and it is continued tonight. And this is Rex after he went 9 up, 9 down against Kansas City, but in the 4th has given up 3, and in the 5th he's given up 3 so far.
Yeah, it's back-to-back 4 2/3 inning starts for Samardzija. Not good, but you see Morales. Let's talk about the good hitting that the Royals have really put on.
This is our Chevy pitching change, and with it being Nebraska night, this is a Nebraska Cornhusker, Dan Jennings, 6'3" lefty, to face Salvador Perez. We told you, Husker fans here tonight, about 7,000 we understand came down from the Cornhusker State. And that's one of the great things I love about what we're doing at Kauffman Stadium, just inviting so many of the universities to bring their fans and enjoy Royals baseball. We've had Wildcat night, Jayhawk night, Wheat Shocker night. The Shockers from Wichita State, their fans were here. Mizzou night, now Nebraska night. We've got to get Steve Kurtenbach's Iowa State Cyclones down here.
Pepper, I believe there's one more college yet that hasn't been acknowledged. Or have we already done them, all the colleges that we usually do?
I believe so. Kurtenbach's got to somehow get Iowa State down here, because I know a lot of Royals fans in Ames.
Better believe it. There's Royals fans all over the country now, with every reason to jump on board.
To right field and deep, and that will get down. And here comes Morales with the Royals' 7th run. A double by Perez. So you can close the book on Jeff Samardzija, who gives up 7 runs in 4 2/3 innings.
Salvador Perez, really nice to see Salvi going to the opposite field. This is really going to lock him in on, when you go to the opposite field, you're seeing the ball longer, and you'll be able to react quicker when those balls inside. '16th hit to right field on the season, and really that's much needed.
And I really think Ned Yost, Pedro Grifol doing a great job resting him, as he has started 22 of the last 31 games, 23 of the last 31, including tonight. But that's 8 times they've been able to rest him with this 9.5 game lead. And Minnesota, last time we checked, was getting blown out by Cleveland.
There's his slider. That's his best pitch. He'll go 89 to 94 with his fastball. Kind of takes a little bit of velocity off of that pitch. His slider's his best.
Jennings reinstated from the disabled list on July 1st with a 2.25 ERA. Since misses in 1 2. But he did suffer that loss against Kansas City on July 18th, and you might remember, 13th inning, he gave up the game-winning home run struck by Lorenzo Cain.
You know, Samardzija might have overthrown a little bit in this outing, but if you look at where he's thrown his pitches, I'm going to credit the Royals offense for hitting some good pitches. He wasn't just throwing cookies down the middle. These were some good pitches that he was executing. So I'm not going to say that Samardzija didn't have his command. I'm saying the Royals offense was on him. They were making some good hits.
Well, they have 4 hits in the inning, and 3 of them extra base hits, and Dale Swain mighty proud with the way his offense perking up here in game 2. This is that frenzy hitting you talk about. They sent 8 to the plate in the 4th inning, and they've sent 8 to the plate thus far in the 5th inning.
Dale Swain, you know, has the perfect mentality for this hitting team, is because he's so calm. He never raises his voice. Very calm,
but
pretty simple approach. Likes to see the hitters compete in their at bats. Look for the pitch out over the middle. They are aggressive. He told me in spring training he's never seen an offense like this that just swung and didn't. And they've had the success that they've had. He's never been around a team that had that ability. And he says, you know, I can't change him, and I'm not going to try to change him.
It is amazing. Last in walks, last in home runs, first in the American League. Just win.
Well, they have over 100 infield hits. It's the same formula we witnessed last year. They pressure defenses by putting the ball in play, and so that alone, with the team speed they have, they pressure those defenses and they just attack.
Yeah, I love the explanation that Dayton Moore gave about a month ago. He said, we play in a big ballpark, which means we have to have athletes. Elite athletes are usually very aggressive, so we sometimes have to live with the fact that we don't walk much. And here's a ground ball to third, and Saladino will throw out Rios, but the damage has been done. 3 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th. It was started by Dyson with his triple, Kane with a single, Morales with a double, and Salvador Perez with a double. 7-2 Royals. Fans, did you know the StubHub app is personalized for just you? With the StubHub app, you can select your teams and artists, discover new favorites, and grab tickets whenever you want. Get to your app store today and get the StubHub app. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Kansas City Royals. Well, even the Royals in blue are celebrating with the Husker fans in red who came down to watch their Royals, because here in the heartland, Royals fans come from Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Colorado, and states beyond. And we see them all over the place when we're on the road, and we saw a lot of Royals fans in Cleveland, Toronto, and Detroit on that last road trip. KC won last night 3-2. Leading this evening 7-2 after trailing 2-0. I really thought the big moment of the game, Hud, 2 on, 2 out, the big man up, Soto gets picked off second.
Yeah, and how much easier is it now facing Abreu with nobody on? Guthrie threw him a fastball right there, right down the middle, challenging him. Got a nice lead. Yep. Sometimes those base running mistakes can really hurt your ball club, and we don't see the Royals do too many of those. Foul ball. Changeup's been an effective pitch against Abreu. He's been fouling a lot of those pitches off out ahead. That's exactly what Guthrie wants. Disrupt his timing.
No greater joy than a youngin getting a foul ball struck by a big leaguer. That's a high drive, left center field, and it's a home run. Like I said, good to see him up with nobody aboard. It's a strong man.
He is a very strong man. That almost looked like a pop-up when it left his bat.
So that makes it 7-3.
Four-seam fastball. He challenged him. Challenge a big hitter like that. With nobody on base, sometimes that can happen, but Guthrie wouldn't have been throwing those pitches if there were runners on like that.
And let's say he does that. I mean, back in inning number 5, the momentum completely swings because Chicago would have had a 5-3 lead going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Instead, it almost took the wind out of the Chicago White Sox sails when Soto made the base running gaffe, and the Royals come up with 4 in their half of the 5th. And then Abreu's solo home run does very little to swing the momentum. Fans, vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com, and you will be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House. In the air, left side, playable for Moustakas. 1 out. Jeremy Guthrie, he showed you the success that he's had in the month of August, and it has been considerable. A matter of fact, that is his best month, and quite frankly, he keeps himself in such great shape, and he's so competitive that you understand when it becomes a mental grind, while his focus is always outstanding. There's a base hit to left field. And Rex, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Royals making the decision to go with Guthrie as the 5 starter over Chris Young.
You can trust him, and not that you can't trust Chris Young, but Guthrie in his time in that Royals uniform has a winning record. This guy, the team believes in him. He's been here longer.
And Young has the experience out of the bullpen.
He does, and I think, you know, Ned Yost just decided that he was going to stay with Jeremy because of those reasons. He can trust him.
Here is LaRoche. Rex, another question for you about that. Last year, Chris Young was named the Comeback Player of the Year. Had a marvelous first 5 months. But in the month of September, he went 0-3 with a high ERA. And he even said, I ran out of gas. I missed all of 2013. Well, could a guy like Chris Young be Ned Yost's trump card in the starting rotation by getting maybe a month off, getting a bullpen work, and then perhaps he could be completely fresh come September?
Wouldn't be surprised at all during this downtime. Young's been doing some throwing, but he's recharging his battery, and he could be inserted back in that rotation at any time, because you never know what can happen to any starter. It's hard to go against any of Ned's decisions. Him and his coaching staff have done such a great job of managing their players and knowing their players, communicating with them. They're able to tell Ned, you know, how they're feeling. He's able to go accordingly.
And as Dayton Moore said at the end of last year, as soon as this team gets a taste of winning, everything else becomes secondary. Off balance, LaRoche to right field, breaks his bat. Rios with the catch, 2 out.
Nice little sliders down and off the end of the bat. When you hit it off the end of that bat, your bat is not too happy. It's going to shatter.
A sad bat. Now the batter, Alexi Ramirez, doubled his first time up, but he was left stranded at third base when Soto struck out for the second out, and after a walk to Eaton Saladino out in a comebacker. Hit sharply past Infante into right field. Garcia will hold at second base wisely.
Guthrie's going to pitch to contact. There's no way around it. He gives up a lot of hits, but he's hoping that they hit it right at people. And Ed Yost, Dave Island talking about their options out in the pen.
They have Luke Hochevar up right now, Hud.
Yep. They'd like to see if Guthrie can get through this inning.
Hochevar worked the 8th inning last night. Carlos Sanchez with a sacrifice and a ground out. And there is the breaking ball swung on and missed, strike one. But Sanchez has played his best baseball of late. I mean, he has 3 career home runs, and all 3 have come in the last 13 games. Back up the middle. That's a base hit. Garcia turns third, heads home. Cain's bringing the throw to Escobar. And now it is a 7-4 ball game. And Ned Yost will come and get Jeremy Guthrie. So Guthrie allowing 4 runs on 10 hits through 5 2/3 innings. Our Chevy call to the bullpen will bring on Luke Hochevar. Piece of the 2014 postseason as the Royals and Johnsons have teamed up to provide the only officially licensed American League Championship fan rings. You can get not only fan rings but necklaces, cufflinks, key rings, and more. And all you have to do is go to Royals.com/fan rings and cheer for your Royals. Huskers are forever Royal. This is Nebraska night, and Luke Hochevar, who did really marvelous job last night after giving up a walk and a double. He faced Saladino and Abreu, Hud, struck them both out, and then Ned went with a lefty against Cabrera and got him to fly out to right, and that was pretty much the ball game. Hochevar to face Giovanni Soto. He delivers ball 1. Soto with a single, but also a huge base running mistake in the 5th inning.
We saw some 97 out of Hochevar last night. He really powered up to get some big strikeouts when he needed them, like you were talking about. 90 to 95, 96 as he'll go. He cuts his fastball, overhand curve.
Soto does not chase. It's a 2-1 count, and this is the man that he wants. Adam Eaton is next. Royals have nobody up in that bullpen. They have the one left-hander, Morales, who worked last night. Three and one. The White Sox offense has been very strong the last couple of weeks, averaging close to 6 runs per game. It's been their pitching staff holding them back, and that's why they've lost 6 of their last 8. But Soto has been one of their hotter players, and he walks. That will load the bases for Adam Eaton.
They just keep coming. They're very good hitters, but when you help them by putting guys on, it makes it worse. Let them right back into the game.
And Ned has no one up in that Kansas City bullpen. I'm sure he's saving Herrera, Davis, and Holland for their innings 7, 8, and 9. But right now it's Hochevar's job to get Eaton. Bases are loaded. Ball 1.
So now Ned's going to get some action up in that bullpen.
Yeah, I see Ryan Madsen starting to warm up.
That was a pretty stressful inning that Hochevar threw last night.
Eaton is flied out, walked, and popped up. One ball, one strike. Coach staying with that fastball. He has that exceptional cut fastball, and that was the pitch that he was able to strike out Saladino last night. He did go with the high fastball to Abreu to strike him out. Down low, 2-1.
Eaton, he's 0 for 3 with them loaded this year.
Fouled that one off his foot. Injured his shoulder last night. Now pounds went off of his shin.
Ball down and in. He might come back without the same pitch.
Cutter?
Could be. Whenever a hitter fouls a ball off his foot like that, that sometimes gets in the hitter's mind. And there it was.
Now a full count with 2 out. Bases loaded. Ramirez third, Sanchez second, Soto first. And line to right field. 2 will score. And all of a sudden we've got ourselves a 1-run ball game.
3 consecutive balls down and in like that. And Eaton kind of knew it might be coming, and he barreled it. White Sox coming back. There it was. All those last 3 were all in that same spot. You see where they were. Pitch tracks were showing you they were trying to beat him inside, and Eaton beat them.
Dave Island not only out for a visit to talk with Luke Hochevar, but also give Brian Madsen time to warm up in the bullpen. The Royals started this inning with Jeremy Guthrie. He gave up a leadoff home run to Jose Abreu. then got the pop-up to Cabrera, and after a single by Garcia, he got the second out to LaRoche. But since that time, with Guthrie and Hochevar, single, walk, single, and all of a sudden it's a 7-6 ball game. What looked like a comfortable 7-2 lead with the Royals bullpen has suddenly become very dicey. Up the middle, Hochevar has it. That's the final out. But Chicago scores 4 runs and is right back in this one. Seven to 6. The Royals still have the lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and of course the 6th is our Sonic Slam inning, and our contestant is Victor Nelson from Greenwood, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Victor will win $1,900. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Victor will win $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Omar Infante will lead things off. Omar 0 for 2. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Jennings stays in the game. He relieved Jeff Samardzija in that last frame when Samardzija gave up 4 runs. Rolls one to short. Ramirez is right there and snaps it across the diamond for out number 1. So Dyson coming to the plate. He got the Royals offense started in that 5th inning with a triple in the right center field gap. He's upped his average to 243. Because of his speed, you see how close that third baseman Saladino is playing Gerard. He does show bunt and takes a strike.
Fastball, slider. That's what Dan Jennings features. Makes it easier when you know you're facing a guy with just a couple of pitches. You can kind of zone him.
Another strike, and it's 0-2. Ball, 2 strikes. The Royals with one of the best home records in the game at 35-18. Only the Houston Astros have a better home mark, and that's important because 22 of the next 31 are at home, including this game. Outside. He has gone from 0-2 to 3-2. Meantime, Minnesota, who's 9.5 games back of Kansas City, trailing 8-5 to the Cleveland Indians in the 5th inning. 8-3, I beg your pardon. Dyson hits it right back up the middle. Jennings has it and throws him out. Well, the Royals and Fox Sports Kansas City are offering a unique way for fans across the Midwest to enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. It's the Forever Royal Fan Express. Fans in designated markets will have the opportunity to win a trip to the K. The bus stops in Lawrence on August 15th. Go to Royals.com/Fan Express for more information. And Husker fans came down. We told you about 7,000 of them for Husker night. And Hud, you were ready to head to the bus, meet it, but they got stuck in traffic because this is the 17th sellout of the year.
Yeah, it bummed me out too, man. I was looking forward to meeting that bus up at the top of the ramp there, up there, get off of I-70 and right in with the fans. It's a lot of fun to feel the excitement of those fans and those buses. It's really been a wonderful thing the Royals have done to reach out to the radio affiliates and the surrounding big market, big cities around here. Has been a blast.
Escobar with a ground ball, Saladino, and it's a 1-2-3 6th inning for Jennings and the White Sox.
From the upper deck, yeah, he's ready for football season here on Nebraska night. Our Mazda game break takes us in a moment to the Minnesota-Cleveland game. But first off, we'll show you that David Price, he got rocked the last 2 times against the Yankees, but throws the shutout today. Danny Valencia has been hot since going to Oakland, Boston trailing Detroit, and Minnesota has some work to do against Cleveland. Okay, let's go to Cleveland. Our Mazda game break. Irvin Santana gets rocked by the Indians. Remember that Irvin missed the first half with that suspension. Started off okay against the Royals, but he's really struggling now. 2 1/3, 10 hits, 8 earned runs. Irvin has an ERA of 5.40. The Indians lead the Twins 8-3.
And the Royals started this game with a 9.5 game lead over Minnesota. Meantime, how about Toronto? Will they ever lose again? They're now within 2.5 games of first place and New York.
No, that energy they have on their ball club, it's contagious, and they're extremely confident and powerful.
They're 10-1, I think, over their last 11 games. And they are unbeaten when Tulowitzki starts. 10-0. Ground ball. Moustakas. Abreu is the first out. So Ryan Madsen getting the call out of the bullpen. Ryan has a 2.64 overall ERA, but he has allowed 5 earned runs the last inning and 2/3. And talking with Ryan, he's very upfront about it. He said, I'm looking at it like bad week, wash it away, move forward, still have good stuff.
Yeah, you know what? That's all you can do. And that's a veteran. He understands. He's been through this many a times, and he knows he's been extremely fortunate so far. But you know, a couple fastballs up in certain situations, that's what does that. But his cut fastball is really the pitch that's been throwing the hitters off when he's successful. He'll go 90 to 95 with the fastball. His changeup is his equalizer. He usually goes to that pitch when he gets 2 strikes. Most of the time he's confident with it, but there is times when he's out there he doesn't have a good feel for it.
Escobar, 2 out. And Rex, I'm guessing after Hoche was able to finish off that 6th inning, I'm sure Dave Eiland and Ned Yost wanted to give Ryan Madson a clean inning where he didn't have to finish off the 6th and then start the 7th inning. And Greg Holland, who threw a lot of pitches last night, then they could go Herrera in the 8th and Wade Davis in the 9th.
Yeah, they could. That's probably what we're seeing so far as this game is evolving here. But you know, Ned Yost, of course, and most managers all keep a tight lip when it comes to their bullpens, because they don't want the opponents to find out, you know, who's available, who's not, because they can plan their strategy accordingly. So all we can do up here is just kind of give you an idea and speculate at times.
Garcia singled in the 4th and singled in the 6th inning. The only time the Royals got him out, he hit a screaming line drive to left field that was caught by Dyson. Well, I'll tell you, Ryan can't look much better than that. 3 soft ground balls. 1, 2, 3. Bottom 7 we go. KC by 1. Off the tee, Alex Gordon. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag KC Data Strong for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. And Alex photo bombing that couple right there.
They don't mind. Thank you, Amber.
Jennings stays in the game because the Royals will have 2 lefties in this 7th inning, and Moustakas and Hosmer hopefully will get that lefty back in about a month, maybe less. He looked awfully good in batting practice today, and we watched him run the bases yesterday, and no pain. Moose has been productive. A walk, a run scored, a sacrifice fly, and RBI. He now has 40 driven in this year. Fouled off.
Yeah, in case you missed it earlier, we had a great interview with Alex. The second inning. It's nice to hear him talk about his injury and how that's coming, and just to hear Alex was really a positive thing.
And he's so proud of his roots, coming out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Great Cornhusker fan, has donated a lot of money to the Nebraska program, the baseball program, which is coached by Darren Erstad, a dear friend of ours. And Darren texted us tonight, and we texted him back with a couple of Husker shirts on, and our best Darren Erstad impression.
Yeah, you know, Erstad, he's beautiful. And getting an opportunity to watch Alex Gordon play on an everyday basis. And I remember when I first got here in 2012, how much he reminded me of Darren Erstad. You know, both those guys didn't care about their bodies. They just would lay themselves out there, crash into walls. It really was fresh, a nice approach. Obviously, they got that from wearing that big red.
Ground ball, second base. 1 out. And Rex, the Royals have a caravan every single winter, usually around January. And you went with the troops up to Nebraska, and that's Alex Gordon country and the Alex Gordon baseball facility up there at the University of Nebraska. And Darren Erstad was there, and he had you talk to his Cornhusker baseball team.
It was great. Eric Kratz was with us, Terrence Gore, and that's the first time in my life I've ever been to Lincoln, and man, was I impressed. Their football stadium looked like a palace.
How about the baseball stadium?
It was beautiful too, but the whole thing was overwhelming, and to see that beautiful workout facility that they have for their baseball team with Alex Gordon's name on the front of the building was impressive. Oh, that's going to be a tester. Oh, good move by Soto.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
sure was. It had enough spin on it to have it continue making that right turn.
Yeah, but and it's hard to imagine that as much time as I played in the International League and the American Association, I never got to go to Lincoln. So it was very impressive. And you see Soto doing the right thing there, just letting it go because he knew he had no chance to get Lorenzo. Lorenzo now with a long walk to try to get his breath back. And that sometimes can be really tough for a hitter. Catch your breath, get in the box, and try to stay away from the deep breathing if at all possible, because that's really hard to focus when you're breathing heavy.
Kane 1 for 2, a walk, a single, an RBI, run scored, stolen base. Very productive. Hits that sharply. Ramirez eats it up and throws him out. So Dan Jennings, ever since he came in, gave up a double to the first man he faced, Salvador Perez, who drove in a run. He has retired 6 straight. And now Haas. There's a good breaking ball in there for strike 1. We told you earlier this is the 17th sellout of the season, 39,302 tonight.
And it's the second largest crowd of the year. Way to go, folks. Glad to see you and hear you. Man, I'll tell you, the players love it. They couldn't wait to get off of that long road trip they just did, and now to come home and to win that first game and battling here, hanging in tough here in the second game.
Yeah, I thought last night was a big win to beat a guy who's been a major thorn in their side. John Danks 9-1 versus Kansas City, but they beat Danks last night 3-2, and Jeff Samardzija, who's been one of the better pitchers in the rotation for Chicago, and they lit him up for 7 tonight. They still have 6 outs to go to nail down win number 65. Jennings has been able to work it pretty well, and out at first base is Hosmer. Jennings got there barely in time. Ned's thinking about challenging, so we'll keep it right here until Ned makes that decision. He's looking at his bench coach Don Wakamatsu, who will give him a thumbs up or thumbs down, and they decided they will not challenge, and that's the end of the inning. Royals holding a 7-6 lead over the Sox. Every day. By Chrysler, enjoy your summer in style with great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance Event. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Royals with a 7-6 lead as we head to the 8th inning, and Kelvin Herrera will come into that Royals bullpen to throw for the 50th time this year, and he has an excellent 2-2 record with a 205 mark. 43 strikeouts, 17 walks. He struck out the side in Detroit on Thursday, matching his season high with 3 strikeouts and notching his second perfect inning in as many games. And that's what they need here, leading by 1. He will face LaRoche, Ramirez, Sanchez. LaRoche 0 for 3. Ball 1.
First pitch, 100. Everybody knows he's got that in him, and believe me, so do the White Sox and all the opponents. Roach has had a tough time with it. Fastball and then that changeup at 90. Pretty impressive. Occasional slider he'll throw. And we've been seeing more of them this year, which is a good pitch. It kind of keeps him off the others. Gives the hitter a different look.
Takes a rip, and you figured he would on a 2-0 count with his kind of power. A guy who blasted 26 home runs for the Nationals last year. Chicago signed him not only for that kind of power after Konerko retired and Dunn was traded.
Well, with that power fastball of Herrera, the outfielders are all shaded to the opposite field.
Ball struck pretty well, but right at Alex Rios, who had him played perfectly, and there's 1 out. Well, our sprint cuts of the game, all about the job that Ryan Madsen did in the top of the 7th inning. After Chicago had scored 4 times in the 6th, he went 1-2-3 with the Sox in the 7th.
It was great to see a nice comeback inning. These balls that were hit were not good swings. They could tell they weren't picking up Madsen. They weren't squaring him up. And that's a beautiful inning, making him feel really special. Crowd giving him some love.
Now Alexi Ramirez, the batter. He has doubled and singled. And that's why it's really great to have veterans in that bullpen, because I think they do such a better job than youngsters of washing away the bad. And Madsen looked at that rough week in Toronto and Detroit. Rex says, hey, it's a bad week. Move on.
That's all you do.
Help the team win. Cleveland is now up 13-3 on Minnesota. So the Royals, if they win this game, they'll have a 10.5 game lead.
Same way when you have an inning just like Madsen had, he'll tell you, it's over. It's over. I'll get ready for my next one. So sometimes when you have the bad, you're able to turn the page, but also when you have the good, you got to turn the page too. But it's nice to have that confident edge as you leave them out.
Yeah, we've had several discussions with the great closer Jeff Montgomery about that, how he dealt with putting away the bad, turning the page, and moving on to tomorrow. That ball has popped up mile high, shallow center field. Escobar with the catch, 2 out.
Throw 100 miles an hour and an 89 mile an hour changeup. Now to follow that, it really will disrupt the timing, and that's what you get, a pop-up. 2 great weapons that he has. Now he doesn't normally like to throw that changeup and up there above the belt, but it worked there.
And I'll tell you, Hud, I really like his slider that he's been throwing too.
We've seen more of it this season.
We've seen it mainly to right-handed batters.
Did you just see Salvi? He knocked him off, and he brushed it off of Blas Diaz, the umpire. It was on his shoulder.
You know, that's a guy who's aware of everything around him.
Yeah, and you notice last night, after Zobrist's good night in the interview with Joe Goldberg, when Salvi dumped the water on him, the whole time he was dumping the water, he was saying to Zobrist, I love you, I love you, I love you. He's so fresh. Oh my gosh, he's fun to listen to, and he's got so much energy. It's contagious. The whole ball club, they revolve around Salvi.
And of course, he got Ned Yost, his skipper, with the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, as Jake Petrichka is warming in the Chicago bullpen. Sanchez, the batter, 1 for 3. His last hit was off of Jeremy Guthrie, and that knocked Jay Gutz out of the ball game, but Jeremy still stands to win this game, leaving with the lead, but the Royals must hold on to this edge. Told you the Sox offense in the last like 10 days has been, well, actually 2 weeks has been really strong, averaging 293, 6 runs per game. Now hit 25 home runs in that stretch. 2 tonight, both by Abreu. They still trail the Royals 7-6. The 2-2 pitch. 3-2. Crowd picks up at the K. Well, he walked him. And now we'll face Soto again. Didn't want to do that with the rookie Sanchez. Soto with 4 home runs in his last 8 games. So a big moment in this game in the 8th inning. Right side, Rios racing in and gets there. Nice running catch by Alex Rios. Herrera with a shutout 8. America's pregame as Mike and Molly bring you live reports from around the country for the latest from NFL training camps and get you ready for a full night of Major League action. Catch America's pregame every weekday at 4 o'clock on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Kendrys Morales will lead things off. Dan Jennings has done an excellent job keeping the Royals offense quiet the last 2 1/3 innings.
Well, you better believe it. Robin Ventura's got to be thrilled with how Jennings has come in and done the job.
He's retired 7 straight and all 7 on groundouts.
He's doing it with his good command with his fastball and his slider, keeping that ball down and using the defense.
Well, Kendrys breaks up his string of 7 straight with a solid base hit up the middle.
Now Morales, he's so patient, you know, and there's a little slider. You see he tries to bring it in the back door and it ends up right over the middle of the plate. Short and compact. He never tries to do too much. We rarely see Morales overswing. He is such a professional at what he does.
And with nothing but right-handers in front of him, Robin Ventura wants the right-hander Petrichka to face Perez, Rios, and Infante.
Good job by Jennings.
On the road traveling, and if you want to watch your Royals play, all you have to do is subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand on over 400 devices, real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Jake Petrichka comes on, and what he does so well, Rex, is get double plays, gets a lot of ground balls. He's first among American League relievers with 10 double plays this year and 22 since the start of last season.
Yeah, he does a good job of keeping that ball down, but he uses that slider. He's going to sink that fastball a little bit, but he's a power pitcher, though. He's got a nice fastball, mid to 97. Slider, changeup, works down the zone, just like you said. Except for that one there, got away from
hit Salvi.
The 2-base hit Salvi's got to right field. Soto's saying, let's try to pitch him in now.
And there's a big hole between the first baseman, who is holding Morales at first, and the second baseman, Sanchez, who's playing Perez to pull. A single to right for an RBI, a double to right for an RBI. Tried to go to right field, but pops it up, and Sanchez wants it and will take it for the first out. So that will take us to Alex Rios. who is 1 for 3 against his old ball club, and this year against Chicago has 12 hits in 31 at bats, including both of his home runs. Petrichka, a tough guy to take deep, though. He's allowed just 5 home runs since 2013. How good is that? Well, he's tied for the second fewest among American League relievers, with a minimum of 100 innings worked. One ball, one strike.
Petrichka, the reason why he's been successful of bringing those double play balls is because he starts most hitters off in. We saw him start Salvi off with a good hard fastball in, and now Rios, and then that kind of backs that hitter off, and then he goes away, and just like Rios there, he topped it, trying to pull him.
That also popped up to the right side, and once again Sanchez wants it. Instead, the much bigger Garcia finally screams, "I got it. Please get out of the way." And Sanchez is glad that he took that right turn and got out of the big man's way.
Garcia's been playing extremely shallow all night.
Every single Royal has been on base tonight, with the exception of Omar Infante. The Royals with 7 runs on 8 hits. Chicago with 6 runs on 11 hits. Ball 1. One ball, one strike. Royals trying to win their 9th game against Chicago in 12 meetings. And the Royals have won 7 of the last 8 at Kauffman Stadium, and overall, Rex, they've won 19 of their last 25 against these Sox.
See Infante wearing padded gloves on the outside of his wrist.
Ramirez gets the force at second. That does it. We'll see Greg Holland come out of the bullpen to try and wrap this game up. Greg Holland certainly has been the game's best closer through the years, and he has 24 saves coming into tonight's ball game. A 3-0 record, 36 strikeouts in 33 2/3. He was able to get the save last night despite allowing a home run to Adam LaRoche. was his 137th rescue all-time, which is 9th among active relievers.
And, you know, they made him work last night. Made him expend 21 pitches.
Top of the order. Eaton, Saladino, and then of course Abreu.
Fastball, slider. His fastball's 90 to 95. Slider, occasional split fingers.
Strike one. How's he done against Greg? 1 for 3.
Corners are in. Outfielders are playing to the opposite field on Eaton. You see where Kane is. Kane's way over and towards left center.
Eaton had a big base hit in that 6th inning that drove in 2 runs that threw the White Sox within 1. But Madsen with a 1-2-3 7th, Herrera with a shutout 8th, and now Holland protecting that 7-6 lead.
Eaton is a pesky hitter. He's up there. He knows himself. He's got some pop. There's no question about it. But he's got a pretty good level swing, and he uses the whole field.
9 home runs this year.
Yeah, that's a lot for him.
He's been batting over 380 the last couple of weeks. He's debating that call from Laz Diaz.
It just looked like it might have been off, but good location anyway, keeping it away, making him hit towards that defense. Dyson close to the line and left.
He struck him out. That is indeed a big first out.
Slider down. That's exactly where he wants it. And last night his slider was up a little bit. Some of his fastballs were up. So good to see so far in that first hitter. He's been able to command down.
And he will change speeds on his slider. And that was a hard slider at 91 miles an hour. So here is Saladino. Strike one. Saladino 1 for 4, robbed of a hit on a terrific play by Moustakas in the first. His base hit came in the 5th. He was also grounded out twice back to the mound. Strike 2. Strikeouts of Eaton and Saladino.
Holland passed the first 2 hitters in this inning. He passed the test. Can he get through the best? Right here coming up, you see it. Abreu's already had a couple of big flies tonight.
Stay with us because Boulevard Royals Live with Joel and Monty will be coming your way after the ball game. Abreu. Strike 1. Another hard slider from Holland to Abreu. He has never gotten a hit off the Royals closer. 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Greg struck out the side on July 10th at home versus Toronto, completing a 3-0 win. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, that last fastball at 97.
Oh, he's pumped up. This crowd's got him working.
Both of these teams play a lot of 1-run games. KC 16-10 in 1-run games this year. That is the best winning percentage. Chicago 21-18. They have played 41-run games. This is their 40th, and that's the 4th most in the major leagues. Outfielders all very deep. Two and two. Crowd of 39,302 roars.
Holland has struck out the side one time this year, and he's looking for it again. What a pitch! Holland with some cheese at the knees on the outer half, the perfectly executed spot to get the big guy.
Rex, I don't know if he's looked any better. I mean, he was hitting 97 with his fastball, hard slider, 88 to 91 miles an hour. Wow.
And after 21 pitches last night, he looks stronger tonight. Second time now this season he struck out the side, and he got to one of the best. Salvi, beautiful frame job. Las Diaz just put another KCW on the board.
So Ned Yost likes this one as the Royals go to 65-44 on the year. They have the best record in the American League. They've taken the first 2 games of this series by scores of 3-2 and 7-6. Both sit on the edge of your seat, 1-run victories.
Boy, don't you love it? These fans got their money's worth tonight.
And how about Salvador Perez? Not only defensively, the game he called, the way he framed pitches, but his offense. 2 base hits to right field, 2 RBIs, now 48 on the year.
Oh yeah, Salvi was on top of it. Going to the opposite field, that's going to really help him get his average back to where he wants it to be. And of course, doing a steady job always behind the plate.
Perez is with Joel.
All right, thank you very much. We are joined right now by Salvador Perez. All right, Salvi. I don't even need to ask you a question and the crowd goes crazy. How about the atmosphere here tonight?
I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Hey, well, you not tell me nothing until we're friends.
We are friends.
Well, you not tell me nothing. That's my job.
It is your job. Zobrist took it. Didn't you say last night, as you were dumping the ice bucket on your new teammate, I love you?
Yeah, but he not tell me he love me.
It is your job, but I've been trying to not tell people for years. It was time for you to get the bucket. I know the crowd loved it. This was a playoff type of atmosphere here in the 9th inning. I guess it is for a lot of nights. How much fun are you all having?
Great. I'm so happy for the fans. Thank you guys for the support, and we're going to continue to play hard all year.
Jeff Samardzija was perfect through 3, and then you were able to break through for 6 runs in the 4th and 5th inning. You had big hits in both of those. What were you able to do against him?
Everybody on my team, we just try to do his job, you know, and win the game.
And a little bit of extra motivation. I mean, it's been a long time, but Samardzija, you guys have played very well against him, and I know that there's not always been the best of times with him.
Hey, we just see him like another pitch in the mouth, you know. He throw the ball and we hit the ball, and good for us tonight.
Okay, I want to ask you about the 9th inning. 1, 2, and 3 hitters, very good. Jose Abreu has 2 home runs on the night. Tell me what the plan is there with Greg Holland as he strikes out all 3.
Hey, when I got Greg Holland in the mouth, I don't care who hit it. I trust my guy.
Great job tonight. How did Zobrist do with the bucket?
Pretty good, pretty good.
He's not taking your job.
No, never, nobody.
See you back tomorrow.
Thank you, Bobby.
Salvador Perez, 2 big hits, and there is one more ovation. And finally, the answer to the question, who gets Salvi when he's out here? It's Ben Zobrist.
Thank you very much, Joel. As Salvi said, good for us tonight. And he said, I completely trust Greg Holland. I don't care who's up. He struck out the side for his 25th save of the year.